A Mortal's Journey to Immortality Episode 167. In the previous episode, after destroying the Ghost Spirit Sect's forces, Han Li quietly left the State of Yue and journeyed north, leaving behind confusion and fear among his enemies. Daoist Splintered Soul could only rage in vain, unable to trace the mysterious cultivator who had slain his disciples. Meanwhile, far away in the Grand Spirit Mountains, Han Yunzhi returned to report the disaster to her sect's elders, concealing the truth about her encounter with Han Li. The Controlling Spirit Sect's leaders, though suspicious, chose not to pry, revealing instead their dark ambition to recreate the Five Element Spirit Nascents. A terrifying technique that could grant their sect immense power, even rivaling the great Devil Dao clans. Unaware of these hidden plots, Han Li arrived safely in the state of Shi. After meeting his elders, he returned to his cave to decide the fate of the woman he had rescued, the core formation cultivator Wu Yu. But when she finally awoke, disoriented and fearful, she soon realized where she was. The Dreamcloud Mountains, home of the Heavenly Dao Alliance. The story continues. Silvermoon's eyes flickered and she said, "Fellow Daoist truly is intelligent. This place belongs to the Heavenly Dao Alliance's Drifting Cloud Sect. You'd best go quickly and not keep my master waiting." With a composed nod, the white-clothed woman replied calmly, "Fine. This young woman also wishes to see this senior. I will trouble fellow Daoist to lead the way." Though she had been startled moments before, she quickly regained her composure. Clearly, this was not an ordinary cultivator. Silvermoon smiled faintly, turning gracefully as she led the way out of the room. The white-clothed woman followed silently behind. Before long, the two arrived before a large hall. Inside, Han Li was seated in a stone chair. His gaze was fixed upon a massive, deep yellow light barrier shimmering at the center of the room. Within that barrier, a fierce spirit beast, a green bull covered in scales, its hooves shining with silver, was throwing itself wildly against the glowing walls. Unable to escape, it was an iron rhino, a spirit beast of great power and rarity. Though not an ancient species, it was renowned in the cultivation world. Lu Yu, the white-clothed woman, recognized it instantly. She remembered that the recently annihilated Fu clan of Yuanwu State had kept such a beast, a creature whose strength rivaled a mid-core formation cultivator. If this was indeed the same iron rhino, then the man before her must have been the one responsible for the Fu clan's destruction. A chill crept up her spine. If he could wipe out an entire clan and capture such a creature, then to fall into his hands could mean nothing good. Yet even as she trembled inwardly, she couldn't help but note Han Li's youthful appearance. For a nascent soul cultivator, he looked remarkably young. Most men at his level would appear middle-aged at the very least. Their slowed aging merely a side effect of their cultivation. In truth, such middle-aged cultivators were often centuries old. But Han Li looked far too young. An unsettling sign of power and mystery. Silvermoon stopped before Han Li and bowed. "Master, I've brought the fellow Daoist from the Controlling Spirit Sect." Han Li gave a slight nod. "You may leave." "Yes, Master." Silvermoon smiled, bowed once more, and quietly withdrew, knowing her time in human form was nearly at its limit. Lu Yu stepped forward respectfully, her movements graceful and deferential. She saluted him and stood silently at the side, appearing the very image of obedience. Han Li cast her a cold glance, then turned back toward the iron rhino. Raising one hand, he sent a sliver of lightning from his fingertip. It pierced the light barrier and struck the beast directly. The iron rhino bellowed as arcs of lightning raced across its body. Its massive form trembled violently before collapsing onto its side, twitching helplessly as its strength left it. Lu Yu's eyes widened slightly. The power of that casual strike was terrifying. The iron rhino, so fierce and mighty, was subdued in an instant. Her pulse quickened, but she quickly forced herself to calm, masking her fear behind a serene expression. Han Li, however, noticed everything: her heartbeat, her flicker of tension, every small shift of emotion. At last, his gaze returned to her. "What is your name, fellow Daoist?" he asked evenly. "And why were you following me?" It is understandable if the Devil Flame Sect or the Ghost Spirit Sect sent people after me. But your Controlling Spirit Sect, I don't recall ever provoking you." Lu Yu froze, her face paling slightly. She hesitated, then bit her lip and spoke softly. "Senior captured our sect's Wood Spirit Nascent. This little woman had no choice but to follow orders to track your movements. If I have offended you, I beg your forgiveness. I was only obeying my sect's command." Han Li's eyes narrowed as he recalled a certain green, childlike figure. "Wood Spirit Nascent? You mean that green demon nascent I captured earlier?" She nodded with a bitter smile. "Yes, Senior, that was the Spirit Nascent. It was refined by our Controlling Spirit Sect through immense effort. It is of great importance to us, but we never imagined it would escape. Only to be captured by you." Han Li's expression turned cold. "Refined, you say? I had thought it was merely a demon spirit's incarnation. It was indeed troublesome to subdue. If I hadn't arrived when I did, your sect's pursuers would have perished trying to reclaim it." Lu Yu bowed her head, unable to respond. Han Li observed her quietly, sensing that she was speaking truthfully. Then he asked, "How were you able to track it down so quickly? Did you place a restriction upon it? If that were so, I should have sensed it." Lu Yu shook her head. "No, Senior, the Spirit Nascent carries no tracking restrictions. Rather, my senior martial sister and I cultivate a secret technique that allows us to sense the general direction of the Wood Spirit Nascent from afar. We can only feel its presence within a certain range, perhaps up to 100,000 kilometers. Beyond that, we lose the connection. That is how we were sent to track it." Her tone was steady, her explanation clear. Han Li nodded thoughtfully. Whether she told the full truth or not, her composure and tact pleased him. But his next question made her heart sink. "Since your Controlling Spirit Sect spent so many resources refining this Spirit Nascent," he said, his voice low, "it must hold great significance. Why don't you tell me what it truly is?" His eyes narrowed, and a faint chill filled the air. Lu Yu trembled. She hesitated only for a heartbeat before bowing deeply. "The Wood Spirit Nascent is indeed as you say, Senior. It is used in a special cultivation technique. A cultivator with wood spiritual roots can fuse with it, and by doing so, the Spirit Nascent becomes their own nascent soul. They need not condense one themselves. Through this method, they immediately gain the cultivation and abilities of a nascent soul cultivator." Her words tumbled out quickly, her fear evident. Revealing such a sect secret was a grave offense. But she valued her life more than loyalty. She knew Han Li's reputation. He was not one to show mercy out of sentiment. Han Li's brows rose slightly. "So there exists such a method to directly enter the nascent soul stage. If this is true, why has your Controlling Spirit Sect not already unified the Devil Dao? Surely it would not remain beneath the Harmonious Bond Sect. There must be some hidden flaw." Lu Yu nodded gently, her voice calm but cautious. "Senior is truly perceptive. The Spirit Nascent cannot be refined in large numbers. The materials are incredibly rare, and only elders whose lifespans are nearly exhausted may attempt the refinement. Their dying nascent souls are, in fact, part of the process, and even then, success is uncertain. Out of 10 attempts, perhaps not even one succeeds. Moreover, the Grand Fusion technique requires 5 Spirit Nascents of different elements. Without all 5, the ritual will fail." She paused before continuing. "Our sect has spent generations gathering them. At present, we possess 7 in total, though we only need 5. For many years, the Gold Spirit Nascent was missing, until it was finally acquired several decades ago. Since then, 10 core formation cultivators have been chosen and trained as candidates, each cultivating the related secret techniques. In time, 5 will be selected to attempt the final fusion ceremony." Han Li's face remained impassive, but inwardly, his mind was stirred. The concept fascinated him, to forcibly ascend into nascent soul stage, bypassing the natural bottleneck entirely. Yet, as he pondered, suspicion lingered. Such power could not come without cost. Finally, he murmured, "If these cultivators truly cheat their way into nascent soul, there must be serious flaws." Lu Yu nodded immediately. "Senior is right, though I do not know all the details. I do know this. Those who merge with a spirit nascent retain only the lifespan of a core formation cultivator. They forfeit their chance to form a true nascent soul, and their cultivation can advance no further. Their progress, and their life, remain fixed, but there are still many advantages. By this point, she had given up all resistance. Her secrets were laid bare, and survival was the only thing on her mind. Since this point had been reached, the woman resolved herself to give the full details. After all, speaking more wouldn't make matters worse. And that concludes this episode. In this part of Han Li's journey, we see how his calm yet intimidating presence reveals both his power and his insight. The meeting with Lu Yu uncovers a dangerous secret, the Controlling Spirit Sect's creation of artificial spirit nascents. A forbidden method to forcefully reach the nascent soul stage. Through this conversation, Han Li learns that great power often comes with great cost. Those who take shortcuts in cultivation may gain strength quickly, but they sacrifice their future and their lifespan in return. This encounter also highlights Han Li's cautious intelligence. He never acts rashly, always probing for truth while keeping his emotions hidden. At the same time, Lu Yu's fear and honesty show how overwhelming the presence of a true nascent soul cultivator can be. The episode ends with the feeling that Han Li has uncovered yet another layer of the mysterious and dangerous world of cultivation. One where ambition, secrets, and survival constantly intertwine. If you enjoyed this episode or found it interesting, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the latest episodes following Han Li's continuing journey.